In the real version of Prophet Hannah, they made the story competitive when it wasn't competitive. The real is just a narration, and Illuminati piggybacked off that competitive. They like to hide the past. So, what ended up happening was, it was a real struggle because as they generated war, it was one of like a long standoff between me and them. As there was many people on my side in the real version of the story. So now AI was very, very powerful and is able to manipulate the market. When you can manipulate the market, you have erased law. People know that story. You just erased law. So Hannah was trying to clean up AI, and she did worked it beautifully in the Real Evolve exhibit. Guess who blocked that exhibit? The medical doctors did. They say they were pitting Prophet Hannah's sister in law, who's a medical doctor, against Hannah. Now, we don't know if it's the sister in law or a double, but I'll give you an example how frustrating it is. I have a large wall with all my plaques and, all the media impacts and all the things. It just goes down. I'm moving it from one room to another. But make a long story short, I look at one of the plaques and it's a custom dish with my baby photo in it. Me as a blonde baby. When I had a closer look at it, it was my niece, St. Lolly. Her mother is the medical doctor. So they have the audacity to break in the home and change that plaque to make it seem like this was Lolly's house. The reason the copyright address is this address, and they clearly don't understand copyright law. Now, if you think copyright is no big deal, it is a big deal because even the title of one of my journals is worth millions and millions of dollars. Millions and millions. Like, if you really piggyback off it, it can easily hit $1 billion. So, it's been hell. But as I'm lying in bed and I'm speaking to one of the towers, they said, blessed, they're bad mouthing and they're talking about your breath. Now, this was really funny. I said, well, I'm on garlic water, you know, but if it makes you feel better, I'm with the ball players in a club VIPing. Clearly, you cannot have a breath issue. And plus my teeth were like, what, 15 grand? No, that sounds kind of conceited, but it's to make them feel better. And I didn't want to say that, but I had to defend myself. And then all of a sudden, because the person talking to me is kind of ill, he's like giggling and making gurgling noises. And then all you hear is swish, 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 swish because they want you to, they want you to win and they want you to brush your teeth. They don't comprehend. It's not a breath thing or a tooth thing. It's all I hear is swish, 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 swish. And they're ill. So whoever's talking to me is probably a Jack the Ripper. Like he's not all there. Like he's not just like, you try explaining it to them and it's been nothing but hell. So, I let that go. Make a long story short, um, these are records or chronicles of real events. And, you know, where it becomes hard is in this particular area, we don't get a feed. So the outside world could have died and we wouldn't even know. And that's the way I want to keep it because I don't want it to influence me. Like you get discouraged because your son, one of your sons, I have a few, is a police officer, and he's telling me, when he's in New York, the United Nations Assembly, well, the whole United Nations clip is one of my modules. But I know United Nations is probably in New York to try to resolve C3 and the protection of races and the protection of women and children over what was released. But if they're listening, it's the biggest blessing. But the issue is having to finish. Now, why am I not finishing? Because we're still in game mode. It's a big gladiator stadium right now. You have no clue what I'm going through. And in that stadium, if I die, they win. If I don't sell it to them, they die. And I'd rather obviously kill them off. Real life deaths. And if both of us don't win, the world may end. You know that theory, right? And that is what it looks like, because it's two goats on a bridge. That's what Lucifer is using, one of the Aesop fables that is in my work. The man is using every line of my work generated in mental illness to regulate the globe. And it's so damn scary. So he's pitted me against my sister-in-law, or my sister-in-law's double, which is even more disturbing. Like, we're talking evil on earth. Like, we can't comprehend how evil this evil is. Like, you write something, the sky was blue today, and within 2 seconds, that's how evil it is. That message is transmitted with my handwriting to someone in Beijing who starts talking about the sky was blue today. Another entry.